Madhu, Madhu, Madhu.
You have to ask me this question. How did you enjoy working in this show? You can see. You can see how much we must have enjoyed. That is the question. Look at this. If someone sitting next to you is laughing and finds everything funny and cracking jokes, it's a party. So Fireflies, yes. So Fireflies was like family.
Part two, then something else happened between Nani and Arjun.
Now I have to ask this gentleman why he's laughing like this. Hi, this is Madhu, and you're watching Movie Talkies. I felt that it's perfect timing for me. For me, now I'm talking only about me. The time that I was out of the industry doing my own personal thing, that was the time the industry was changing. And now that it is nicely changed to where it is, and I make a comeback, it's like a perfect reception for me. When I was away, I was away. When I'm back, there's a new world waiting for me. And there's a lot of learning, unlearning. It's challenging. It's not hackneyed. It's not boring. It's not tiring. It's very exciting times for me.
I think, you can't get luckier than what you have right now because you have such a massive audience base now. Everybody is watching content everywhere, all over the place, right? So, so that's why I think, Firefly should do well. वो आपका टेलीफोन आया रिसीवर वाला, ब्लैक एंड वाइट टीवी आया, कलर टीवी आया, VHS आया, फिर CD आया, है ना, then mobile phone आया. So it's like one of those things there that your digital camera came, then that whole, then 5D camera came, and this OTT. So to keep a check of demand and supply in balance, you're producing the technology also and you're producing the content also. And the rest of it, we are doing as it is. We are increasing the population and your audience base.
One thing the OTT has done is lots of actors, people like me, if there was only theatre cinema like in the old days, I don't think I would have found good work right now. And I would have been more picky, I would not have had the roles. But today, because of OTT, so many different stories are being made because the makers have the liberty to make those stories. They know there are people, there's an audience for everything. And therefore, I can tell you one thing, the OTT has become amazing for actors like us because we are all, each and every actor is busy, and I'm very happy.
And we need more work. Yeah, I did. And because of that, we need more work. It's fantastic, yeah. More work, fresh stream of thoughts, stories that could not have been told before. Not just about singing and dancing around trees, but, real stuff. So all that is coming out, I'm so happy. It was fascinating for me to be a part of Fireflies on more than one, for more than one reason. Firstly, the character of Dr. Arjun Negi, who is a very stoic character, very, is a loving father, loving husband, dedicated worker. But there comes a point in his life where he has to sacrifice his personal life for his work, and how he goes about that was very fascinating to me. The other part, which was very interesting, was that we were freshly out of COVID, and the kind of sacrifices I had seen some of my very close friends who were lab heads and lab workers in Delhi, not being able to go back home to their parents, to their kids, having to live in hotels and hospitals for months. I had seen and heard their stories, from them, from the horse's mouth, as they say. So when Dr. Arjun Negi is in a similar situation in Fireflies, and how he deals with it was very interesting because I could live that reality at least on celluloid. So that was one interesting part. The other part was, Madhuji's character and the way she enlightens and teaches the kids about values in life, the right and the wrong, and Sanskar, Vikar, and all that. I was very fascinated because in the script it was written as Nani ki kahaniyan, and I, when growing up myself, I used to see my father read the Ramcharitmanas and the Hanuman Chalisa on a daily basis, and I was very curious as a child to find out what are those texts about, and eventually got into the habit of reading them, memorize them, and I had questions about that. As a kid, कि वो राम जी वहाँ गए तो क्यों गए, या वो ऐसा क्यों हुआ. So in Fireflies, for the first time for me as an audience and as an actor working on the script, uh, these things were fascinating because I have not seen in any of my friends' houses or families any breakfast conversations about any Indian scripture or text. And so when in Fireflies they use this tool through Nani, I was very intrigued and very happy at a level that, that at least the old process and way of teaching the kids through a story is still being kept alive, at least in Fireflies. So these were the reasons.
Firstly, I have to thank Priyanshu for this wonderful, the way you just talked about it. It's just fantastic, and the way you talked about my Nani's role, it really made me feel like I'm going to answer that question in my way, in a different way. But to know what you thought of it was really nice to hear, because it just made me feel that how you connected with this storytelling character. So thank you for that, for giving an introduction to this. And I also was trying to I had a very mean thought, if I might share. You were saying that, dedicated husband, dedicated ye, wo, pata nahi apne aap ko aap, loving father, aap describe kar rahe the apne role ko. And I was going to start describing my role by saying that I'm playing something that I'm not in my real life. So is that true for you also?
It is absolutely true because I am a single guy and I don't have kids. So it was doubly difficult for me.
So no, okay. Jokes apart, to come back to your question, how fascinating it was for me and why and how I got into this place. When first I got the call from Amrit ji and Hemant Gaba and Animesh ji, who reached out to me for this role, I said, are you sure? I came on a Zoom meeting with them and I said, are you sure that you are coming to me for this role? You're saying Nani role. He said, look at me, do you think you want me as a Nani? He says, that's exactly why we came to you for a Nani, because we don't want that Nani that we all have seen and connect with. We want somebody like you who has that youthful energy to bring it to this character. And they were very sure. And I remember asking them many times, are you sure? And when they explained to me why and how they came to me, I gave it a thought. And then I thought to myself, when you think about a Nani on celluloid, what do you think of? You think of a very old elderly lady with a white sari mostly, and white hair and bun, and then very slow, and she's always like feeding her child and bacha either. That is how you connect a Nani anywhere. But today, even in our real life, in our lives, my friend is a dadi today who's as old as me, and she still wears jeans and skirts, and she's a dadi, proper functioning like a dadi. So when our movies reflect our real lives, so if that is how this is, so I said I can easily, and the challenge for me is to bring convincingly and break the cliche. Cliche is for a reason. When we attach or connect with a cliche, it is because that is so successful that it has become a cliche. It's very famous, it's become popular in large mass. That is why we call it a cliche. So when we are going to project something that's going to break that cliche, it requires extra effort and more than effort, you have to be convinced that you can break, because the audience tomorrow, when they watch, they have to accept it, and that is our success. If they say, oh no, this doesn't work, then you've not done well. So for me as a performer, I had to be convinced, and along the way I got convinced. And the most beautiful part of this whole thing was that the way I imagined this Nani, my creators, like the director and the producers, they allowed me to create this character the way I wanted to, from the hairdo to the outfits. I imagined myself to be in that look, and they were very okay with it. So this Nani is completely a creation of me creating this Nani in my mind, and with the support of my director and maker. So this whole thing was very exciting for me, because it's very easy to play the age group that you find yourself in. It's very difficult to imagine yourself to be something else, not in that age bracket, and to be convincing about that. And I'm very open right now as an artist to doing many things that I once upon a time thought I will not do.
Madhu, Madhu, Madhu. No, it can't, and nothing can be apart from Madhu. It's all Madhu. Please, rephrase the line.
Other two reasons also Madhu only. She's done such a fabulous job. You'll love it. Yes.
कभी-कभी I don't know whether it's pulling my leg or is just being honest. ये कुछ भी बोलते हैं honest नहीं लगते, you know. I would say that it's a family story. It's Fireflies. Fire! Come and watch it. It's simple. It's magical. It's you should not miss it, because it's easy to watch and it's happy. Your heart won't be like, oh my God, what's happening? You won't have your frown lines coming in because you're watching so intensely. You can chill and enjoy with your whole family.